counsel because I want to see all you young people live righteously. What you feed your mind with forms your characteristics and shape the path that you must walk tomorrow. Darkness or glow, joy or sorrow, that's why I'm concerned. So watch out, my children. Yeah, watch out, my children. Yeah. It's about fella called Lucifer with a bag of white powder. And you don't want to powder your face, but to bring shame and disgrace to the human race. Hey, what you telling yourself? Hey. Again, I'm excited for this week's podcast. Yes. How are you? It's the second episode. So if you haven't already, go and listen to the first CupcakeDelect Podcast. I'm Tiffany Williams, your host, and I'm the brain queen of CupcakeDelect, my online platform for sharing everything inspiration. We have an awesome lineup this week. As our custom will be, we have 3 segments. The first is Tea Time with Tiff, the second, Cash Flow Conversations, and the third, Love Source. I know how busy life can be, so separating it into 3 segments can actually make you take your time throughout the day or throughout the week to listen to different sections at a time. Take your notes, send me emails about stuff. Listen, I thank you for deciding to tune in. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. That is, follow the podcast so you can be notified exactly at the point when I post a new post. The CupcakeDelect Podcast, of course, can be found in your favorite podcast apps, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and TuneIn Radio. So both Android and iOS devices can enjoy it, even as well your PCs, your laptops on Podbean. You can listen to it there as well. Yes, you can. Also, of course, follow CupcakeDelect everywhere on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. And as I mentioned in the last blog post and also the last podcast, there is going to be a blog post for every single podcast, one that goes along with it, one where you can go and you can get additional information and you can actually read my thoughts. Yeah. So stay tuned as we start with the Tea Time with Tiff segments in a few. It's Tea Time with Tiff again, and of course, every Tea Time with Tiff segment will be discussing inspiration from the world around. Whether it's an inspiring story, news headline, or an inspiring person, we're just going to be discussing inspiration. And I will be inviting you throughout this podcast to send me an email. Shoot me an email about your thoughts and ideas. If you have any inspiring story, if you have any testimonies, questions, suggestions, recommendations, shoot me an email, right? So this week, I was inspired to share my take on a few trending topics. So we're going to explore 3 topics as we sip on some tea. The tea that I'm currently having is my own special blend. If you're from the Caribbean, then you know we are famous for taking things from the outside nature, picking stuff and making tea into them. This week, I'm having bay leaf tea. The majority is bay leaf tea, really. I would have used 3 dry small leaves of bay leaf in order to make it, but I also added a little bit of ground spice, and just a little tip of mixed essence. I don't know, I just felt like adding that. And those 2 products are from Chief. Of course, they're not sponsoring me. Just wanted to mention the products. And a little bit of brown sugar. So that's what I'm sipping on right now. Of course, if you follow me on Instagram, then you'll be seeing what tea I'm currently having. And you'll see it in time for when this podcast uploads. Now, I've separated, as I said before, Tea Time with Tiff into 3 segments. And this week's Tea Time with Tiff are conversation starters. Right? So I'm asking you guys to shoot me an email. You'll be hearing me saying that. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are on the things that we're going to be discussing in Tea Time with Tiff. Let me know. So the first topic for Tea Time with Tiff is my sweet Tobago. My sweet Tobago. You guys know from last week's segment that I love my beautiful island. I'm obsessed with it. I want nothing less than for her to remain unspoiled. I want nothing less than for her to remain unspoiled. However, I also want her beauty to be experienced, to be tasted, to be seen, to be smelt, felt by as many persons as possible. When I think of her, my island, I think of winding roads that take you to hidden waterfalls, rainforests, and tranquil beaches. And I think of the feeling of burdens releasing and fresh air breathing while traveling up to country. You know, serenity. When I think of her, I think of the limelight upon sunsets with food shops that excite with Creole, Arabian, Indian cuisine. I think of community, of bonfires, of saint pulling and cocoa dancing. My sweet Tobago. Goat and crab racing, imagine. Habitat for hummingbirds. The Angel Reef, Japanese Gardens, Buku Reef, wetlands, mangroves, lagoon, Petit Trou. Changing hands, 31 or 32? Lord, I love my Tobago. Thinking about my sweet Tobago inspired me to, ponder about my splash in the waterfall. My footprint in the sand. My personal impact here on the island and for the island. What can I actually do to preserve her beauty? To drive sustainability? In local news, the construction of the Sandals Resort on the island is currently trending. Questions of sustainability, protection of our ecosystems, flood barrier, scale of benefits to islanders, high-level employment, possibilities or impossibilities, public beaches being turned into private beaches, all inclusivity, that being a barrier to the small man with the small shops and the small money. I wish to do all in my realm to ensure that her beauty shines through me. But I want to know how you, after analysis, after having gone to sandals all over the world, over the Caribbean, after looking at the Caribbean islands itself, what are the real benefits of sandals on a small island like Tobago? Tell me the real benefits, people. Let me know how you think. Shoot me an email, guys, because these are my current thoughts. I'm wondering. I do not have all the information that I think is necessary, but let me know. Tell me what you think. Is it sustainable? Just let me know. So that's my first conversation starter, my sweet Tobago. My second Tea Time with Tiff conversation starter for this week is entitled Media Influence. Now, I would have separated everything and make it topical so that you guys, it will be easy for you guys. You could pause you can pause, come back. You could also know exactly how to title your emails when you send them to me. So, media influence. Even though I'm Trinbagonian, we have our own politics here that's enough to keep our attention local. I've actually been enticed to view the progress of the U.S. congressional elections that occurred last week. Strangely, the politics itself did not intrigue me as much as what my analytical eyes picked up from bouncing in between live streams of U.S. news channels. it might probably be really seen not as noteworthy, as it may seem, but God was basically pointing my attention to it for, I guess, the reason of sharing inspiration and clarity with you guys, right? I noticed that entire news stations supported a specific political party. From the interviews and the direction of the conversations, for example, CNN seemed to be Democratic and Fox News seemed to be leaning towards Republican. Oh no, Republican. It got me thinking that just by viewing a particular station, you can be influenced, even swayed in the direction of the conversation. Because sometimes, whichever side you're viewing, the conversation makes sense. Some of us grew up watching certain stations because our parents had it on and their parents did the same. And whatever was viewed would innately sound agreeable. Yes, only with myopic eyes, of course, but it's still quite possible. And it makes me think of a study I did called #Renew My Mind. And I think that's going to be the name of this podcast episode, Renew My Mind. It takes me back to the Rashoti I song I sang. Yes. What you feed your mind with forms your characteristics and shape the path that you must walk tomorrow. Moving away from my initial political thought, and taking it into a further development. Is it safe to say that our books, music, Instagram, Twitter feeds, our shows, our movies, our conversations, our environment, is it safe to say that they all play a vital part in the way we think and eventually the way we act? What you think? Shoot me an email. Let me see. What are your thoughts on these things? We have one more topic in the Tea Time with Tiff segment. I call the final topic for Tea Time with Tiff segment, Got Milk? Renewing my mind, renewing all minds takes strategy and practice, and even a cancellation of what generations before us were taught. Maybe not even a cancellation, but a clear-minded evaluation. Take, for instance, this post introduction I peeped at on Instagram by an @Joshua.Entis. I'll put all the information in the blog post. It goes like this. Cows have udders so they can produce milk, cheese, ice cream, and yogurt for humans, end quote. His post obviously continues by stating that cows produce milk like all other mammals for their offspring. Just like human milk is the perfect formula for human babies, cow's milk, he states, is the perfect formula for cow babies. With this post, he started a dialogue that causes one to think about the influence of food lobbies and corporations, animal cruelty, humans being lactose intolerant and even having sinus and skin allergies as a result of dairy consumption. And I can personally attest because, yes, for years I've been loving cheesecake, especially the New York cheesecake from Sweet Street. Yes, I've been loving ice cream. Like the last episode, I would have mentioned my love for ice cream, clearly, but I have eczema and sinus, and they go haywire when I consume those things. So yeah, and imagine my boyfriend, he's allergic to cheese, like cannot eat cheese. Yeah, so it's serious. My favorite take from his post, is actually when he states that it's okay to question your beliefs and make decisions based on your values and beliefs and not what you've been told. This is okay to question your beliefs and make decisions that is based on your values and beliefs and not what you've been told. An important part of renewing your mind is understanding that self-reflection is necessary. And living a life that's entirely fulfilling comes from the point of the journey when you realize that you can stand firm on your beliefs. Renewing your mind transforms into daily positive actions and decisions that become habits, then your character. Margaret Thatcher said, and this is one of my favorite quotes, "Watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become character." End quote. Let it soak. Shoot me an email. Let me know what ideologies that you need to #renew your mind from. What are your thoughts on this week's Tea Time with Tiff segment? Tell me your thoughts. Shoot me an email. I'm glad you were listening to Tea Time with Tiff. We will be back with cash flow conversations in a few. The Cash Flow Conversations segment of the CupcakeDelect Podcast is where I share my love for financial literacy and where I actually live through the journey of becoming financially secure, or more financially secure. So in last week's Cash Flow Conversation, I shared 6 ways to instill a positive money mindset, and that share was influenced by mints.com. So we've already touched base on the fact that how we think about money leads to how we manage our money, right? This week, our goal is to further develop a positive money mindset by eradicating some of the ideologies we have about money that are myths. Yes. So let's talk about money myths that require our renewing of our minds. #renew my mind. #renew my mind. So we're gonna talk about 6 money myths, and the first one is money is the root of all evil. You've heard that one before, right? Money is the root of all evil. Like, come on. That coin that fell out of your purse onto the floor and rolled below the bed. Is that evil? How about the central bank circulating money and maybe the money sitting in your bank account? That's probably evil too, right? Nah. No. Money in and of itself cannot be evil. You see, what is evil is the greed, is the covetousness. That is what is evil, because people pursue money in negative ways, in ways like stealing, robbing a bank, robbing a person, being just dishonest. And that's where the evil lies. So it's not just the blanket statement, money is the root of all evil. Actually, the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. And that love is the act of holding it to higher esteem than everything else, and pursuing after it more than you pursue after your loved ones. Crazy, right? You know what is also evil? It's evil to place judgment on yourself about, acquiring more money. That money guilt? That money guilt we feel because we know people say that the love of money is the root of all evil. So we tread lightly on our pursuits to actually do anything at all to gain more. Improve our careers, start our small business, because you don't want to be seen as people who run after money and forget about love. You need to just kill that myth. Take it away. It's a myth to believe that money is the root of all evil. Right? The second myth, number 2. I keep track of my money, but I don't need a budget. No need to budget. Quote, I keep track of my money. No need to budget. End quote. That's a myth. Because budgeting is what I guess you have to think about what budgeting is. Budgeting is about planning and being future minded. So a well formulated budget is realistic and it helps prioritize your life, and it's actually goal oriented. So of course, keeping track of your money is just like pulling up your bank app and saying, okay, I have 2,000 remaining. All right, then next 2 weeks, I have a 500. Hopefully I could manage with the 500 until I get paid again. No, that's not budgeting. That's not future minded. That's basically just tracking your money. It's not even really correctly tracking your money. You need to budget. A well-formulated budget, again, I would say, is one that's realistic and it helps prioritize your life, and it's goal-oriented. It's futuristic. Budgeting also allows one to think, about tithing and savings and investment, retirement, emergency funds, etc. So it helps you make better money management decisions when you budget. So that's 2. Let's go on to 3 now. The third money myth is, quote, you get what you pay for, end quote. You get what you pay for? No. That is hardly likely the truth when you think about it. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Price is what you pay for something, and value is what you actually get from it. The two can sometimes, or most times, move in opposite directions. And it's good to think about product substitutions. Is there an item that you want? Can you find a cheaper item that will do the same thing? You get more value from it and you get to save some money. Then you do that. Being smart is actually not paying what we can get for less. Not paying the price when we could get it for less. So we never really ever get what we pay for. The fourth money myth is, my income doesn't allow me to save. Quote, my income doesn't allow me to save, end quote. This might be true for some, but most likely if you're listening to me, then it's not the case with you, right? Bounce back to the time we talked about budgeting a few minutes ago. Right? Think about it. Budgeting is about prioritizing and thinking about the future. Budgeting is not only about when you get paid your budget and then you leave it alone. You actually have to keep track of your budget, because it actually helps you to keep track of your spending as well. So if you said $1,000 is for my bank loan and for this and that, if you said 200 is for your groceries, then you stick to that. Most people don't pay themselves first, meaning take that money and put it into savings first before you find a way to use it, because most likely we spend some sort of money throughout the month that we didn't need to spend, that could have been saved. Our fifth myth is, quote, having a credit card is asking for trouble, unquote. Having a credit card is asking for trouble, or having brackets debt. No, that's untrue. That's a myth you need to just kick out the door. Because, think about it. So maintaining a good credit by paying off your balance in full every month is the way. I think some people actually say that you should, in order to get good credit, carry a balance over. No. That's another myth within this myth. Maintain a good credit by paying off your balance in full every month. You see, you need to form and maintain healthy habits. You can't just use your credit card haphazardly, right? So that's the fifth myth. The sixth and final myth is, quote, a savings account is ideal for savings, end quote. A savings account is ideal for savings. Now, as a child growing up, before financial literacy was a thing, of course, when you hear a savings account, you would think it's where you want to save your money. Especially the fact that, I used to actually save some money from my daily money. Mommy would give me daily money to go to school and to buy snacks, and I might even save. So when you're hearing about saving money in a bank, you might think, oh, I could put my money that I gathered in my drawer to put in the bank. Not so much. A savings account is for day-to-day use. And even the bank and other financial institutions classify savings account as a day-to-day product. Long-term savings for our emergency funds savings are basically not meant to be touched until you really need it. So the day-to-day accounts will not help you at all. The bank interest and the charges will only decrease the value of your savings. So of course you need to choose a better option, and we could talk about the better options. And you could choose even right here in Trinidad and Tobago that will help to grow your money rather than decrease it with bank charges and interest. Yeah. So yes, those are the 6 myths that we have to debunk, that we have to just throw all the way outside. I'll go over them again. 1. Money is the root of all evil. 2. I keep track of my money. No need to budget. 3. You get what you pay for. 4. My income doesn't allow me to save. 5. Having a credit card is asking for trouble or death. And 6. A savings account is ideal for savings and useful as an emergency fund. No. All of those need to stay outside. We need to renew our minds. #renew my mind. When it comes to money management, we have to embrace words like value, priority, discipline, self-control, stewardship, temperance. It actually reminds me about God's word and the characteristics He wants us to embody. He's definitely got our best interests at heart, right? Just imagine. That's the end of our cash flow conversations for this week. Shoot me an email, let me know what are your money myths. It's now time for our Love Source segment. Yay! Love Source. It is important that we understand that in seeking and finding love, the transforming love as shined through God, the Love Source, we have to unlearn the generational rules and societal ideologies about love, the ones that has kept us down, prevented us from loving truly and purely and authentically. We need to throw away the old love rules. We basically have to #renew our minds. So we'll be exploring, talking about, and then throwing away 6 of the love rules that has kept us down. We need to renew our minds from these. You see, the first love rule that we have to unlearn, that we have to throw completely away, is this one. And this is the first and foremost in order for us to get a step closer to the love source. Quote, if God loved us, there would be no pain. End quote. If God loved us, there would be no pain. That rule needs to be thrown all the way out the door, because pain is as a result of sin. Sin is as a result of disobedience to God's law. The fact is, the love source is the awesome gift of choice that God continues to give us on a daily basis. You see, His justice is giving us a chance to choose Him still. Instead of, creating a brand new humanity. Because you see, all of the angelic host is our audience. We all know, even if you don't believe in God or the God of the Bible, that your choices, your actions, even your thoughts have a consequence. And it's up to each and every one of us to choose love. Choosing love is really up to you. There's much beauty, in the world. There is much beauty in God's word, but it actually takes eyes of love to see it. So we need to throw that ideology all the way outside. The second love rule that we need to throw all the way outside and renew our minds from is love is an irrational emotion. It's believing that love is an irrational emotion. We need to throw that all the way outside. You see, sometimes in movies and even reality TV shows show us that love is extremely emotional, full of negative emotions, you could see, where people are fighting and it's hard, it's something to toil with. And we believe, that love in this light doesn't make sense, is filled with bad choices, is ignorant of the actual facts, and it's also impulsive. Those beliefs of love need to be thrown all the way outside. This is an unhealthy definition. It's an unhealthy view of love. Right? So throw it all the way outside. The third love rule that we need to get rid of is this one. The love you give is the love you receive. The love you give is the love you receive. You see, we can sometimes feel exhausted, like we're all out of love to give. This is, of course, when we base our giving of love on the expectation that we receive the love in return. Again, this is unhealthy. Our quality of love and our ability to love should not be measured by the love we receive. You understand? I could even tell you that sometimes you end up giving way more than you will receive. And sometimes, even though it sounds really sad, your purpose is to love. Maybe even all the time, this is our purpose in life, is to love. Sometimes we receive the love, sometimes we don't. The fact is, you have to throw away the thinking that you give the love and you will receive the same amount of love or even more. It doesn't work that way. And because of the sin problem, because of the disobedience problem, it doesn't work that way. #renew my mind. The fourth love rule that we need to get rid of is that we think lovers are mind readers. Get rid of that rule. Lovers are not mind readers. You can remember yourself actually going crazy, wondering why this person would not do this and do that, and why they wouldn't open your door open the door for you. Why wouldn't they buy this ice cream for you? Why wouldn't they take the time to do this and do that? It is important to communicate your feelings and desires. It is okay to be open. It is okay to be descriptive and to even give valuable direction on how to handle your emotions. It is okay. It is okay. Communication is the key. Lovers aren't mind readers. So throw away the thought that lovers are mind readers all the way. Where? Outside. Get rid of it. Burn it. Yeah. The fifth love rule is like a generational curse. It's like this curse needs to be cut. You need to ensure you stop this curse from continuing in your family if it is present now. The fifth love rule that we need to throw away is love is keeping secrets. Yes, I understand. I understand that sometimes you feel that you need to protect your loved one, and so that's why you wouldn't keep a secret. But you see, we might all agree with this point that love is keeping secrets, or love is not keeping secrets, until we analyze our beliefs, the ones handed down through generations. Some young ladies were taught that it's important to ensure your financial security. Yes, by hiding some money on the side for hard times. Tell me if you were never given a directive from my auntie, grandmother, even your mommy. Tell a girl, put away some money on the side, girl, because you never know what could happen. You see, your financial security. Your financial security should be openly discussed. Yes, I know you might vex with me, but keeping secrets is not the way to love. Transparency is God's way. Transparency over ingenuity. If that is a word. Ingenuity. Any day. So be transparent. Love is keeping secrets? No. Throw that all the way? Yes. The final love rule is sort of a tricky one because I think even I believed it. But in believing it, I was only looking at myself. But listen, the final love rule that we need to get rid of is we have to love ourselves before we can love another. The belief that we have to love ourselves before we can love another is entirely untrue. The truth is, so many of us are selfless, giving love, giving our time and our talents to our loved ones. Doing this without consideration, of our own self-love. I'm sure someone out there, someone of you, could experience toiling and working and doing all you can, all the actions, all the love, unconditional, and not making time for yourself and for your spiritual health and realizing that you are depressed and you're not satisfied with yourself and your being, but that did not prevent you from loving another. But you see, ideally, God wants us to understand His love. He really does. He wants us to understand His love for us and transform that knowledge into a genuine love for self and those that we come into contact with. So we need to love ourselves. We do. But believing that we have to love ourselves before we love others, that's a rule that we have to throw all the way outside. Because the truth is, we actually do that. We actually love others sometimes more than we love ourselves. So we need to think about it. It truly takes a renewal of our minds to throw away all the old love rules, right? And lean our understanding and activate the love as exemplified by the love source. We really need to hashtag renew our minds. Pray, hashtag Lord, renew my mind. Renew my mind. Renew my mind so that I could see and understand and have discernment for the things that are going on around me. To pick up on things and to weigh them and to be able to make proper decisions for my life. Renew my mind so that I can be able to handle my finances properly. Lord, renew my mind so that I can love the way in which you want me to love, so that I could take the time to understand your love for me, and so I can love myself and I can love others. Yes, this week's CupcakeDelect podcast was awesome, right? Awesome. And I will say it again, you guys, take advantage of my inbox. Shoot me an email at CupcakeDelect.biz@gmail.com. I'm here waiting on your email. I'm looking at my phone right now, hoping that somebody's going to jump in and tell me their thoughts on our discussions. Yes. I'm so happy for another episode of the CupcakeDelect Podcast. Remember, it's going to be every Tuesday. I invite you to share. I invite you to, even though you're listening, follow the app, because I know sometimes you could listen without following. Follow the app, subscribe, share sharing the inspiration, share quotations, tweet, get the word around, because I just want to share inspiration. That's the thing. As far as it could go, that's my purpose, right? So thank you guys for listening, and see you. I'm gonna say see you. Yeah, next week Tuesday with another, and I have some cool stuff coming up. But you'll just pay attention to my Instagram and Facebook, and you would know what cool stuff I have coming up, because Lord, you guys, I do not know if you are ready for it. Bye bye.